Namaste, hello. It's lovely to connect with you today. My name is Leanne Peters. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to share some healing guidance for Tuesday and Wednesday. Before I start, I've lit the smudge stick and I'm going to start smudging to begin with. So let's do that first. It's been quite intense this weekend, and a lot of us are shifting out of that, so it's good just to do a little bit of smudging to help clear any sort of residual negativity or stuff that we're dealing with or been dealing with. Good morning, Forella. I trust I pronounce your name okay. And Tennille's here. Hi, Lisa. Namaste, Valentina. And Othan. I trust I pronounce your name okay. And Chelsea. Hi, Suzanne. And Belle. And Tanya. Looks like everyone's here. This smoke is going nice. I've got some music playing in the background. Some Tanya Rose. I think it's A Feather's Breath is the name of the CD. I don't know if you can hear it. But before I pull some cards, let's just stop and take some really big breaths and do a little bit of clearing. So this is some sage that's been bundled up, and it's partly alight or sort of smouldering. And we're going to work with this sacred smoke. So you can light a stick yourself if you have one and want to, or you can just work with your breathing and join with me with this intention for clearing. So take a nice big breath in, and as you breathe out, surrender out all of your old stuff that you've been holding on to, but especially the stuff that's been stirred up over this last 4 or 5 days. You've probably found a lot of stuff has been stirring up. It's been quite a challenging weekend. In my video for the weekend, the pause card came up twice. I certainly didn't see any pause that I noticed, and certainly not physically. It was hectic, relentless, and by the time Sunday dropped in, overwhelm started to kick in, and it was just absolutely crazy. It's been a crazy few days, probably really since the 4th of May, I've noticed. So today's the 8th for me. So the last 4 days or so have been really intense, and a lot of us have been feeling that something's brewing, something's in the air, something big that feels quite uncomfortable. So this big thing that we're feeling, that we might think is a global event that's preparing to take place, and it may very well be over this next week or so, a lot of us are shifting stuff very personally and very individually. So that means today I'm going to be using my healing energy cards and not the speed of light. We're going to be doing some healing guidance today. So we are clearing. I am supposed to be smudging and clearing with you. So just continue to take some deep breaths and really think about surrendering, letting go, and detaching from what happened, detaching from even the intensity of the weekend and what we've been through, the story that was generated, the scenario that played out. Let's just allow ourselves to detach from that. We have to be able to move on from things that happen on a day-to-day basis, from things that happen, earlier in our life as well. We have to be able to detach and not allow ourselves to be defined by our hurt and pain and experiences from the past that have tied us down or held us back or created some sort of trauma within us. We have to be willing to move on when we're ready. When we're in the middle of it and it's very raw and we're very wild and feel the rage and the anger and the real primal intense energy, it's very difficult to move on. So in those moments, I always find it best just to ride those intense emotions and ride that wave a little bit. It might take a few hours or a few days or a few weeks to kind of get through that real intense, raw, primal emotion. So when we're on the other side of that, then we can start really thinking about how can we detach. What can we learn from that situation that's made us a better person today? Even if it happened this morning, or it happened yesterday, or it happened last week, or it happened last year, or 5, 10, 20, 30 years ago. How can we learn from that so we can move on? Let's stop being defined by what happened to us and let ourselves move on. So I'm doing a lot of talking, so I guess this is a lot of kind of mental clearing and talking us through that sort of stuff. So I'm going to put the smudge stick out now. So just imagine, if you like, before I put it out, this sacred smoke washing over your body and carrying away with it all negative energies, entities, cords, hooks and attacks. And allow that stuff to move out and away. Surrender it, let it go, detach from that stuff. Detach from it in your mind, in your heart, in your body, and in your life. Your emotions will help you ride the wave out of that space. So it is. Thank you. Extra special welcome today to my Temple of Balance patrons, my Pillar of Light family, and all of those of you who do support my work through my website. Thank you so much. You help me be able to do my work full time and bring these videos to you and to others who perhaps can't afford to support me in that sort of financial way at this time. So thank you so much. If you're new to watching, welcome. What I'm going to be doing today is I am going to be pulling one card from my new deck. These are called the Animal Kingdom Oracle cards. These are templates, samples. They are not available yet. I'm just fine-tuning them. So I'm going to pull one card, kind of like a pre-mini theme, if you like, for Tuesday and Wednesday. And then instead of my Speed of Light Oracle cards, I'm today inspired to use my Healing Energy cards. So these have more of a healing slant. So we're going to be talking a bit more about the healing energy and based on whatever comes up with these. So that's what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to look for with these the best card for Tuesday, the 8th of May. And then the best card, there's a lot of throat chakra energy moving as I'm talking. So there's a lot of truth that we're stepping into further, I feel. And I'm going to be looking for the best card for Wednesday, the 9th of May, and then the best card for the theme for Tuesday and Wednesday. So take on board, please, what feels right for you and let the rest go. If it doesn't resonate, it's okay. You will know if it's guidance that you need to hear because it will make sense to you. It will resonate with you. It will be relevant somehow in your life at this time. You won't need to try and fit like a square peg into a round hole with it. It should just quite easily fit in if it's something that is relevant for you right now. So you can trust that. So let's clear my stuff. I've made a big mess on my table with my smudge stick. So I am looking for the best one card from my new deck that's coming out in September. I'm going to look for the best card to just help guide us into Tuesday and Wednesday's energy. If it's not Tuesday for you yet, you can think of this as guidance in advance. So the best card from this deck, as we prepare to look deeper into Tuesday and Wednesday, is this. The Zebra, card 22. And the Zebra talks about alternative options. That if we feel a bit blocked right now in some area of our life, it could be a specific thing that we're working on, that we're being guided to look between the black and the white, if you like, to look in an alternative way or from a different viewpoint than how we have been. There's something that we haven't quite got a grasp of yet, or haven't quite got or received the wisdom on at this time. So let's look for alternative options. Let's open our heart to more possibilities and more potentials and more options that may be available to us at this time. So that's what I'm feeling with that card for now. They're still very new for me, so I'm also getting familiar with the deck. So now I'm going to find with these the best card for Tuesday, the 8th of May. So healing guidance. It's been a while since I've used these for our guidance without creating a healing event. So let's see. I trust that the best card will find its way to the top. That resonates with the majority of us at this time. Hello, Diana from Texas, and Jerry Lynn is from Maine. Hi, Carla. And Cynthia says 22 is my lucky number. That's awesome. Okay, the best card for Tuesday, the 8th of May, is this. This card came up in yesterday's current energy report and is very much in sync with the current energy that's playing out. It's card 21, called Third Eye Opening. I'm going to read this stuff here. It offers different perspectives of this card, and then I'm going to talk a little bit more about it. So it says, deep opening and healing of the third eye chakra, trust issues and the DNA gland. So healing trust issues, I feel that that's a big one that's come up for a lot of people lately. Awakening of intuition and ancient wisdom within, trust the flow of life and trust in self. Open and expand. So this brings us directly in connection with our third eye chakra, which is up here on our forehead in between our eyes. And it's our center, our energy center for vision, intuition and trust. So we could be the most intuitive person in the world, but if we're not trusting in our intuition, then it's just like air, and it's very difficult to work with or grasp or use in a practical way in our life. So we've been guided to work with our powerful intuition. Our intuition is really strong right now. A lot of us are feeling quite a lot of opening in our third eye chakra, and almost like we've got a band on that's got one of those forehead torches, headlamp maybe it's called, here on our third eye chakra. We're also noticing this with lots of synchronicities, which I've been talking about. So synchronicities everywhere, lots of numbers are lining up one after the other in multiple places. Also, we're noticing a lot of confirmations of things, lots of doubling up of information or guidance or confirmation in varying sources that are confirming what we've just been talking about or just been feeling. So there's a lot of support, a lot of synchronicity from the universe at this time, which shows that our third eye chakra is quite open as a collective. So now it's about using and working with our third eye chakra, working with, if you don't like the third eye chakra, if that's not something you resonate with, then we may want to replace those words with working with our intuition, working with the synchronicities that we're noticing, working with the signs that we're noticing playing out in our life as we do things, that just all these multitude of synchronicities and signs that are crossing our path at this time. So let's work with our intuition. Let's work with and start to trust more in ourselves and in where we're being guided to. It's no accident that there's all these synchronistic events and signs and support from the universe at this time. We're in a powerful time right now. I still have this feeling that something's brewing in the world, and as I say that, my throat chakra is also shifting. So there's truth that's been triggered and truth that's been stirred right now. There's nothing to fear, I don't feel, but I do feel that something is brewing, and our way through this the dark black times that some of us are going through. I mean, we're going into depths that are deeper than the shadow. Because where there's shadow, there's light that's cast the shadow. We're going into depths that are pitch black, like dropping into the deep ocean that's pitch black, and we can't see anything around us. So the thing that's going to be our guiding light right now, especially if we're feeling like we're stuck in the pitch black dark, or we're stumbling through our shadow side, or through the darkness, or fear, or paranoia, or those kind of negative sides of ourselves that are sort of triggering at the moment, our best support and guide is going to be our third eye chakra and our intuition, and trusting more in ourselves, trusting more in what we're feeling, trusting more in the decisions that we make, in the steps that we're taking in our life. When we're caught up in the pitch black dark and we can't see in front of us, it's like walking on our path with a blindfold, and we don't know where our path's going. So we've got to reach, at this time, a lot of us are being forced to be in a space of just trusting what feels right. Even though we can't see where we're going, we need to trust in our more subtle ability, or our ability to sense those subtle energies that are subtly guiding us this way or subtly pulling us that way. So that will take place through our intuition, through our feeling, through our empathic skills, our sensitivity. Perhaps your intuition speaks to you through more visual means. Maybe you get visions, strong dreams, or flashes of visions, or pulls in your body where you're kind of pulled this way or that way, where something might feel right or it might not, and trust in that. You might be someone that just knows, and you have this gut feeling that's beyond any questionable doubt, that you just know you need to go this way, or know you need to do this or that, or not do it. So trust in your gut instincts, your feelings, your sensitivity, your empathic skills. Trust in what you're visually seeing or visually sensing, because that's how your intuition's going to speak to you. And we're really being encouraged to trust in ourselves more now, and to stop second guessing our intuition, and stop second guessing our gut feelings and our do we have to have an excuse or a reason why we feel we don't want to do something, or we feel we do want to do something? Do we have to explain ourselves? As we trust in ourselves more, we're going to need to explain ourselves less, because we just have that sense. We're sure about it. We're confident in our own intuition. We trust it beyond a doubt, just like I'm trusting my intuition as I say these words. I trust that you will receive what you need, but it doesn't mean I understand that not everything I say is probably going to resonate with you. And I trust that. I trust that you will receive what you need from the guidance that's shared. So trust is so much more than whether you trust in someone or not. How can you take your trust and your connections with yourself, and trusting in yourself deeper, especially to be your guiding light at this time? So that's the guidance for Tuesday. I was going to say Saturday, and I was going to say Sunday, and I had to refer to my paper. So let's just get that right in front of me so I don't fumble on these dates. So that was the guidance for Tuesday, the 8th of May. I trust it makes sense to you. So now I'm looking for the best card for Wednesday, the 9th of May, actually. Wednesday the 9th. How are you feeling? Sylvia says, thank you for sharing and creativity, such a supportive space. You have truly lifted my life. Well, thank you, Sylvia. That's a beautiful thing to say. I'm working on your drawing, which is back over there behind the camera, and I'll be working on that soon. And I'm most likely going to be doing another live streaming while I finish Sylvia's healing art, because it's very special and a different style I don't usually do. So I'm kind of feeling a new deck of cards brewing. It takes about 4 years for me to illustrate a whole deck of cards. So I'm kind of feeling that this might be the start of something new. So Wednesday the 9th of May, let's go with this card here. We have card 31 called Reunion. And the keywords or information down here says ancient wisdom awakened, divine masculine power is emerging, reunion of God with goddess, or we could say reunion of masculine with feminine, or yang with yin, opening the crown chakra. So we've moved from the third eye chakra from Tuesday up to the crown. And this is about bringing things together, but especially from an assertive, masculine, driven kind of way. So we talk in general a lot about the feminine energies, a lot about the goddess, and maybe because there's a lot of us females that are awakening and connecting with ourselves. So it's I feel in a lot of ways it's quite natural for there to be a feminine aspect that we connect with as we come more into our softness and accepting our femininity, our creativity, our sensitivity as well. So this card's about now thinking about, especially on Wednesday, igniting our inner masculine energy to balance the feminine. So it's all a balance. It's a yin-yang. It's a balance between the masculine and the feminine. Whether we're female forms or masculine forms, it doesn't matter. We all have that combination of the male and the female energies within us. You know, the female, I think of patient, I think of creative, I think of nurturing, fertility, I think of a gentleness in a way, a softness, a flowing sort of energy. When I think of the masculine energy within me, at least right now, I think of things like being driven, passionate, assertive, clear, mind power and my mind working with me, standing tall in my courage and my personal power, and my warrioress kind of energy that kind of drives me forward. So when I back that up a little bit too, and when I look at the symbols of the masculine and the feminine, so the feminine being the chalice or the V or the pyramid pointing down, the feminine energy reminds us to drop inward and deeper, which a lot of us have been doing. And the energy is quickly shifting, and we're being now guided to, especially on Wednesday, to tap into our masculine energy, which is represented by the blade or the pyramid pointing up or the triangle pointing up, which is a rising up feeling. So I've noticed as I go through my journey that I do go through depths of the feminine and then rises in the masculine. So if you're feeling a rise up, a pull like the phoenix, where you're being driven and you feel this uplifting sort of feeling, then you're in the energy of the masculine. If you're feeling a quieter, deeper urge or surge to drop deeper into yourself or into situations, or you feel a bit hermit-like, you might be in the feminine sort of aspect of your energy. Now, on Wednesday, a lot of us are being guided to step into or call forward our masculine energy and to really look at how we can empower ourselves to stand more in our power, to stand more in our truth, and to be more of who we are. We've reached new depths these last few days that have been quite uncomfortable and quite disruptive to our life, our everyday life. So the energy is starting to shift now as it turns into an uprising, a rising up of the energy. It reminds me of this volcano, I can't remember the name of it, in Hawaii at the moment. That's actually the chamber of the volcano. I feel volcanoes are very, masculine as they rise up, but inside the chamber, the crater is very feminine. And the lava's draining out of one of those volcanoes at the moment. It's quite drastically and quickly losing all its lava. It's going somewhere inside the earth. So there's this sense of pullback that a lot of us have been feeling, but this sense of kind of upliftment and rising up and pushing through, just like a volcano pushing out and expelling or exploding its energy. Yes, that's correct, Bev, but I don't know how to say it. Kalua? Yeah? I don't know. I'm not very good with other languages. But, I feel that's a very good example of the energy that I'm talking about. So we're undergoing a shift, a rise in our personal power, and a stepping further into our courage and focus and drive and into that warrior-like space where we can combat and push through our challenges, our battles, our difficulties, and have the energy to do so. So that's the guidance for Wednesday. I trust it makes sense to you. Thank you, Chelsea. You're so good, aren't you? Kill our way. Okay, Kilauea is the name of the volcano that all the lava's moving out of. Which is interesting because before I even realised that, it's very symbolic of the energy that a lot of us are feeling and dropping into that pitch black zone of energy, and now it's starting to shift up again. So I wouldn't be surprised if over the next couple of days that that energy of the lava starts moving in again to that chamber, because it feels like energy's dropped down but it's starting to push up, especially as we move into Wednesday. But now I'm looking for the theme for Tuesday and Wednesday. This will help us bring the days together and help us see the bigger picture. So we're just going to go straight with this card here. Don't you love it? It must be this spot that I'm sitting in. It just likes repetitive cards at the minute. So this is our theme card and the card for Tuesday, if you just joined in, card 21, called Third Eye Opening. So bringing again what I talked about on Tuesday about really looking over Tuesday and Wednesday how we can trust more in ourselves, that we are opening up more to our intuition, more to our empathic skills, our sensitivities, and finding acceptance with it. Now, I mentioned that a few videos ago about how can we accept more of our sensitive side, that we tend to, reject it and want to push our sensitivity away, especially when it's very strong and we're feeling particularly fragile or vulnerable. So let's see if we can, instead of pushing away our sensitivity or our ability to be intuitive. Now, being intuitive doesn't mean that you are a professional psychic, for example. We are all intuitive beings. We all have instincts. We all have a sensitivity in some way. It might be through feeling it like an empath. It might be through a gut feeling like a knowing. You might have more visual way that you connect with your intuition. So there's different ways that we can connect with it, and if we're accepting of it and allowing it to be, it can help us so much in our everyday, day-to-day life. So I ask you, how can you accept your intuition more? How can you accept your sensitive, vulnerable side more? Can you accept that you're an empath rather than trying to shut it down constantly? I've never found, I'm a very empathic person, and I've never, ever, ever found or been inspired to or even had a desire to shut off my empathic skills. Yet I read and hear so many people that reject that side of themselves so much that they want to shut it down or close it off constantly. Do you need to do that, is what I'm asking you. Can you challenge yourself to question that now? Is it working for you that you shut that down? Because my suspicions would be that the more you try and shut down your natural gifts and push them away or squish them into a box or shut them down or try and quiet them down, the louder they're going to become. The more we accept them, the more we listen to them, actually the lighter and gentler they become. Sometimes they're stronger than others, but they're not trying to get our attention so much. So it's not going to be as explosive and loud than if we've been trying to trap it in some box. So I challenge you and ask you to really challenge yourself and think about whether you are shutting or trying to shut your intuition down. Are you trying to shut down your empathic skills because you just keep picking up other people's stuff? When you pick up other people's stuff as an empath, I've found that it helps me be able to secure my boundaries more. For example, one of my boundaries, not doing personal readings on my videos, is one way I keep my boundaries strong, which is part of me coping as an empath. I would not be able to cope sensitive-wise to do 109 readings right now for everyone that's connecting live. It would just not be something that I would do, whether I wanted to or not, because I respect myself as an empath and I respect my boundaries. And I feel, especially as an empath, because we are very sensitive emotionally, that we do need to have boundaries. We do need to consciously protect ourselves, especially in highly stressful spaces like hospitals or in shopping centres, or if we're feeling particularly vulnerable. For me, if I'm feeling that, I'll put my protective talisman straight on. I'll do an extra smudging and I'll affirm to myself that I'm safe and protected. But being an empath is not a curse. Being someone who's visual is not a curse. Being someone who's intuitive is not a curse. It is who you are. So how can you embrace that side of yourself just a little bit more on Tuesday and Wednesday? Because it really is our strong guiding light. It's come up strongly. This is all confirming the report that I talked and wrote a lot of stuff about this in yesterday and what I've been feeling. And we've got this card come up a second time, which is very characteristic of the energy right now. We're getting double confirmations, triple confirmations from all different sources. Double cards coming up, double numbers. It's all part of this synchronicity, the signs, and the massive universal support that we have right now. So why would we have massive universal support? Because we're in a powerful time. Things are changing. Something is definitely brewing. Personally and globally, there's definitely something brewing. But the universe is showing us through these signs and synchronicities that there's nothing to be afraid of. In fact, that if we feel the fear, let's feel it and push through it and work with that assertive, courageous energy of the masculine to push through our fear as kind of the warrior or the warrioress that we are. And, really work with our intuition to to flow through this time period that we're going through. So these are important, deep times of change, of support, this is a favourable time to make life changes, that's for sure. The universe and the signs are showing us that we're on track, but also pointing us in new directions, showing us that we're supported if and as big events happen personally and globally. So they may affect us directly, they may not. We're being guided to really deeply shift and use our intuition and trust that as our guiding light right now. So really powerful, big energy around. I'm sure there's not really anyone on this planet that's not feeling it in some way, no matter how connected or spiritually inclined they are or aren't. It's big. A lot of us aren't sleeping. We're dreaming vivid dreams. We're dropping into spaces and voids and places within ourselves that we've never been before. Our whole life, daily life and daily comforts are being disrupted and dislodged. So this is a big time, and there's no doubt about it, but there's nothing to fear. So let's feel our way through it. Let's trust our intuition as we journey through as well. I might play the singing bell as I finish if you want to hang around. So thank you for connecting with me today. I've used my healing energy cards for this guidance. These are great tools to support your self-healing. There are 55 cards in this deck. We're about to celebrate 10 years of these actually in June. They came out 10 years ago in June 2008. So very excited. We'll be doing lots of focus on those cards in June. So that's to come. But you can learn more about them on the website if you want to. If you enjoyed the video, you know what to do. Please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment or share if you're inspired to. And if you'd like to connect more privately, just send us a message through our website. I'm quite positive, 90% sure, that I will be streaming again, probably in the next hour or any time. It could be in 5 minutes if I'm inspired to, because I'm finishing a piece of healing art that I'd really like to finish with you. So I'm going to be doing an art streaming some stage between the next 5 minutes when I finish to the next 5 hours. It just depends. But I will certainly be doing that as inspired to. It's calling me, so I'd say it might be in the next hour that I will be doing that. So keep an eye out for that. My spirit guide drawings and my healing art have been permanently reduced to... I just felt really inspired to revive my art. So very excited to bring that service into a new level, if you like. So if you want to learn more about that, have a look on my website. You can learn more about my work on my website too, at templeofbalance.com.au. If you resonate with my work, there might be something on my website that you might find helpful, but you also support my work when you purchase through my website. That's how I do this full time is through your support. So if you do find a lot of values from my videos, then I invite you to have a look on my website. There's meditations and things that may appeal to you that don't cost much, but they do help support. Every little bit helps. So thank you. I think that's all I need to say, really. The words have suddenly stopped. So let's play the singing bell to finish. This is my Tibetan singing bell, which I've taken the ringer out and I hold this way. And I'm going to play this for a moment. I'm going to play this to hold the space for you and what you need. Oh, thanks for sharing, Brenda. I'm very honoured that you enjoyed this enough to share it. Thank you. And to everyone that shared. So I'm going to play this to hold space, to support you in what you need. I'm not going to dictate or tell you what you need or what you need to focus on. I just invite you to be open and trust your intuition just that little bit more. Let yourself feel your way through as I play the bell. Take some deep breaths. At the very least, just listen. If you're not sure what to do, just listen. And just let the bell carry you where you need to be carried. If there is something specific that you're dealing with, then please request or focus on that while you're connecting with the bell for release or support or strength or whatever you might need at this time. Trust in your intuition. Your intuition is powerful. Your intuition is very powerful. So don't be afraid of your power. Don't be afraid of the power of your intuition as your guiding light, because we're going to be called on to use this more and more in our life. As we step blindfolded into the unknown, the only guiding light we have is our intuition or our heart. So the more we can build our connection with ourselves and trust it, the better off we'll be in the long term. And it's something we're always developing. I mean, I've been living this way for years and I'm still developing my ability to trust in myself more and more every day. 111 viewers, you are all awesome. So, nice deep breath. Thank you. So remember, if you're not dropping deeper, if you're not rising up, if you're not actively inspired to go deeper with something, if you're not actively inspired to rise up with something, then just flow through, stumble through the current learning that you're going through, because it's not forever. Sometimes if we're not dropping deeper or if we're not rising up and there's no movement happening in our life, we think that this is going to be forever, that we're going to hold in this stagnant, horrible space, being tossed around by these pitch black waves or, whatever we might feel within the storm. Those are the times where our intuition calls us to kind of feel our way through and find a path out or find a path through this current space. Our feelings are very valuable with this because we can allow our feelings to flow into the next feeling and the next feeling. When we meet a feeling we don't like, then we either try and push it away or we hold on to the thought for days or weeks, and that creates a stagnation. If we can feel the anger, feel the rage, feel the passion, feel the wound as fully as we can, then that will move. It has to move into the next feeling because our feelings just want to move. They want to be in motion. So if you're not deepening, if you're not rising up and you're in the middle part, just feel your way through it. Trust in yourself. You are making progress, even if you don't really feel it right now. Things will start to stabilize. Things will start to move. Just feel through it. If you feel stuck, explore the wound. Find a new understanding about it. So that will inspire another feeling that moves you in another direction. So trust in yourself. You are a powerful being. You are your guiding light. So thank you so much for connecting today. Sending you lots of love from my heart to yours. Have a wonderful couple of days, and I will do my best to be back to share with you on Thursday. So thank you. Namaste. Actually, I'll be back to share that drawing, won't I? I'll see you soon. Namaste.